Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. This is Shirley's Thread Work, formerly So Till We Begin Embroidery. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Let me holler out to my Facebook and my YouTube crew that may not come into the chat. I hope you do, wish you do, and maybe you will. But if you don't, that's okay. I still appreciate the fact that you watch. So thank you for your support. And of course, as always, I'm thanking those of you that watch the replay because I know you do. I know it's a lot of people that watch the replay that can't come into the live chat or watch it when I first go on. And I do appreciate that. And I ask you for thumbs up. As always, I ask you for notification, hitting that bell, subscribing, and comments. If you have questions or whatever, don't forget to put the comments in. They are very, very important. So thank you so much in advance. And I just want to let you guys know, yeah, I'm upbeat. Yeah, because it's still July and it is still my birthday month. Even though my birthday was, when was my birthday? My birthday was Thursday. So it hadn't been that long ago. But I'm going to celebrate the rest of this month. So you'll see me next week. Still talking about my birthday. Because I tell you, Father God, it is a blessing, a blessing, a blessing to be able to see another year as usual. And I think I just saw a message on Facebook a few minutes ago. It happens to be Jeanette's birthday today from Baroque Sewing and Craft. So let's wish her a happy birthday as well. Welcome to the Cancer Club. Hi, everybody that's on here. Hi, Robin. How you doing? Hi, Taisha, Jenny, Jenny, and who else is on here? I think that's it for now. So we got Jenny, we have Robin, and we have Taisha that has joined us. So thank you so much for joining us. And I do know it probably be some more people popping in pretty soon. I hope everybody's day is doing well. Got a little smudge on my screen, so that was getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves. So hopefully everybody is fine. I know it's hot, hot, hot. My glasses are dirty and I don't have anything to clean them with. Oh. Mm, mm, mm. Smudges everywhere. And these glasses are way too big to be dirty. Okay, I know you guys probably say, what in the world is she doing with them big old glasses? Well, I wanted some big glasses, and as you can see, these are big. They're actually sunglass frames, and I put regular lenses in them, and I'm still trying them out. They're not a 100% go because they are a little bit heavy and they keep sliding. So I don't know if it's going to work out or not, but for now, that's what I'm wearing, and I do like them. I do like them. I just wish they were a tad bit more comfortable. And I totally regret I did not clean my glasses before I got on this air. Because I tell you, they seem to be smudged up pretty good here. Hopefully I'll be able to see out of them. All right, I think I got them now. They're a lot better. Hi, Kingsbury Craft. How you doing? And thank you for the birthday wish again. Like I said. Oh, Jenny, you like my glasses? Good. Well, my husband said he likes them. And they actually have a chain that comes down, gold chain, and all that fancy dancing. And he didn't care for that, but he did say he liked the glasses. And I'm not 100% in love with that chain hanging down either. It is cute, it's stylish, it's the trend. Um, I have no clue when I would wear it that way, but it is part of the glasses. That was not my selling point. My selling point was the color blue and the size, because I really wanted some big glasses because they're kind of in. I really wanted the clear ones, but they didn't have where my insurance says I can go to, and where my pocketbook said I can buy. They didn't have the clear ones that were big enough that I liked. But anyway, I like I said, I'm giving them a good try. They do keep kind of sliding a little bit because they are a little bit heavy, I guess is the best word for it. I just ordered some little things that you can put on the back of it that's supposed to keep them from slipping down. And hopefully, when I get those, they'll work. If not, I might be forced to take them back and get something else because I do have enough time to do that, and I don't want to keep pushing them up, and everything like that. Anyway, so Becky, you like my glasses too, so thank you. I do appreciate that. Um, but let me see. I am going to start as usual in a few minutes. It's 8:06 right now. So I'm going to wait just a few more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started on this conversation for tonight. And as usual, I want everybody to chime in and put your 2 cents in there, ask questions, make comments, so forth and so on. So we'll be doing that tonight. So Taisha, you said they should be able to tighten the handles because you had yours tightened because you're well. They did. I have already taken them back actually to get them tightened, and they did. So it's a lot better than they were. I don't think that they can tighten them anymore without them hurting. But like I said, if the little apparatus thing that allegedly is supposed to keep them from sliding, they're made specifically for sunglasses, which these happen to be sunglass frames. If that doesn't work, then I'll probably take them back and see if they can adjust them one more time. And if that doesn't work, then like I said, I might have to just kick them to the curb and another pair. But I think I want it to be Mrs. Magoo because I've seen the big glasses on so many people on TV in different places, and I've always fallen in love with them. And I saw the clear rim glasses. My grandson has some, and I really love them. So, like I said, that was my um, goal when I went in to get glasses is to find a pair that I like. They did have the clear ones. I didn't like them that much. They were okay, but these just jumped out, and they are kind of clear, but they had that blue tinge, and that just kind of I've never had blue glasses before. I've had red, black, brown, turquoise, all those stuff, but I never had blue. So I said, let me try these blue because I thought they were kind of cute. So we shall see. But anyway, I digress. It is now 8:08, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into the topic. So the topic for tonight is burnout and how to avoid burnout in the embroidery slash crafting industry per se. And like I've always said, I usually get my inspiration for a topic based on what I have seen on Facebook, YouTube, what have you. You get a chance when you're all in all these different Facebook groups, you hear people asking questions about certain things and making comments about certain things. And like I said, it kind of gets your wheel turning, your and thinking. So there was a person that posted something on one of the Facebook groups that I frequent, and I did respond to the person, but it got me to thinking because she was basically saying that it was difficult for her to get back into the swing of embroidery. She hasn't done any in several months, and she doesn't understand why. What's going on with her? And so, she kind of mentioned the word burnout, and I can see where that can happen. So, a lot of us may get burned out in various jobs. I know um, when I was nursing in the hospital, I worked on what they call a med surge oncology floor, medicine, surgery, and oncology is cancer. So it was a pretty busy floor with really sick people. And that was back then where people were diagnosed with cancer. They got their chemotherapy and treatments and stuff in the hospital. I administered chemotherapy To a lot of people way back then. That's what I did on that particular floor. Most of my hospital nursing experience has been in some type of form of oncology. I worked on what they call a bone marrow transplant unit, step down unit as well. So I took care of a lot of severely ill folk when during my hospital nursing career. And I have to be honest about it, I got burned out. I honestly got burned out with taking care of such uh, illness. They were sick. They were dying, and wasn't a whole lot you could do. You would meet them from the day they were diagnosed and told that they had cancer, and follow them all the way through, unfortunately, until they passed. So that was like a journey. You got a chance to know these people, know their families, and develop relationships and get sometimes emotionally involved. You can't help it because you're human. And with that being said, when you're doing it day in and day out and day in and day out over and over again, multiple people constantly, it wears on you. And I got to the point where I just wasn't happy there. I wasn't happy. It was a burnout. And I did a lot of searching at different types of nursing and what have you to try to get my footing and everything. And then I finally realized that nursing really wasn't for me. And I guess it wasn't because the Lord blessed me to be able to find a pharmaceutical sales rep job. And I moved into that, and that was my career. And I stayed in there until I uh, was downsized, took early retirement. And that was it. And I did other sales and all that kind of stuff until I finally retired 3 years ago. But anyway, that was my burnout. So I understand burnout when you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again and you're not happy. And that's the biggest part about it is not staying happy. And that was the main thing that I mentioned to the young lady about, you got to kind of make a decision if this is something that you really enjoy, if this is what you want to do. If you used to enjoy it, then you need to figure out a way to motivate yourself, go look at some YouTube videos and see if you get inspired. Look at some designs and see if there's something that pops out that you really love that you want to try. Something. Get some professional help. Who knows? You never know. What is triggering this burnout, this depression? So I did my research as usual, and then I went to Copilot, which is the AI on for Microsoft, and I asked the question about you know, burnout. What is burnout and how do people get burned out? So, preventing what is burnout? Burnout can be challenging, but there are several strategies you can use to recover. And first and foremost is recognize the sign. That's with any type of quote unquote depression or anything that is emotionally bothering you. You have to be open and willing to say something ain't right and not be afraid to say it. I'm not feeling the same. Nothing is making me happy, and I don't know why that's the case. I feel tired and drained all the time. I don't want to go into my studio. Just the thought of going into my studio makes me unhappy, makes me nervous, upsets my stomach, gives me a headache. Whatever it is, you need to recognize the signs. So you need to acknowledge the symptoms of burnout, such as feeling exhausted, as I mentioned, losing interest in the work, or becoming easily frustrated. You know how something just gets on your nerve. The least little thing, the thread breaks, the needle breaks, um, something like that, and you just get all flustered and frustrated. That's telling you, that's a sign. So it is recommended that if once you acknowledge and recognize your sign, take a break. If possible, take some time off to rest and recharge. Take a vacay if you can. Take a vacation. And your vacation doesn't necessarily mean that you got to hop on a plane, go to the Bahamas or whatever. You can take a vacation right there at your house. You just don't go in your studio anymore. You can, plan some dates out with your friends, your girlfriend, your husband, your mate, whomever, and just say, okay, I'm taking 2, 3 days off, or I'm taking 2 or 3 weeks off, or whatever. But take a break. Number three, rekindle your passion. Remember why you started your embroidery business or hobby in the first place, and try to reconnect with that passion. That's most important. Like I was mentioning to this young lady, find something that's interesting to you, that's motivational. If you see something um, on YouTube or wherever you frequent, find something that sparks an interest, a new technique, a new trend, or something. Even when you're out and about and you happen to see somebody wearing something that looks really, really good, and you notice is beautifully embroidered, or that is something that you know you could enhance it by embroidering on it. Excuse me. That can rekindle your passion. I know I've always liked how embroidered items look. I still do. I think they're beautiful. I have the unfortunate habit of seeing and loving beautiful designs. So I'm always buying them. It's like, oh my God, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness, that's so nice. I would love to wonder what that looks like. So then you buy, and you don't get a chance to use them like you should. So my passion for embroidery has not diminished, because I still see things that I want to do and all of that. So I'm energized with that, even though I can get overwhelmed. So it's just being human. But try your best to rekindle your passion if at all possible. Also, if it's possible, delegate tasks. If you're overwhelmed with work, consider delegating tasks to others. Now, that can be difficult, especially if it's a hobby. Uh, Nobody else is doing what you do. Maybe, maybe not. If it's a business and you're just a one person business, that also becomes an issue. But there are alternatives, possibly. Some people are lucky enough, I'm not one of them, that may have family members, children, husband, mate, whatever, that can help you. And when I say help you, I'm not saying actually do the embroidery itself, but help you pick out a design. Ask them, what do you think about this? You like this? Go on this site and look and see what you think you would like to have on that shirt, or what you think would be cute on this pillow, or whatever. And if it's like a kid, they can help you organize some of the things in your office and all of that kind of stuff, labeling things and what have you. Just get some help. And just the mere fact that you're doing something with somebody else can relieve some of the stress and feeling of being overwhelmed, because now you're sharing, and you might get your passion back. Number five, practice self-care. Incorporate incorporate stress management practices into your daily routine, such as meditation, exercise, or deep breathing. I see that as taking a break, as I mentioned. Get out and take a walk. Go outside and get some sunshine. Sit out on your deck, your patio, or your lanai, on your porch, whatever it is that you have, hopefully, the ability to do that, and get some sunshine. I know it's hot. Don't stay out there and burn up. Just sit out there for a little while. Have you it's too hot to have coffee unless you go out there early in the morning. I can sit out there early in the morning and have a cup of coffee. Or you can go out there and have a glass of tea, a glass of ice water, or ice lemonade. Anything like that, just sit out there and chill for a few minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, and just enjoy the breeze, or enjoy watching the trees, or watching the people walk by, or whatever the situation may be. And just think about good stuff, good thoughts, not bad thoughts, not your troubles, not any of that, just good thoughts, whatever it is that you're thankful for. So practice self-care. Number six, seek support. Connect with other entrepreneurs, or people that embroider, or join some type of support group. That could be something like this young lady that was asking a question or making a statement online with the Facebook group. She was reaching out and people were responding to her. So hopefully that kept her from feeling so alone, especially when people were saying how they were beginning to feel. And at least she felt like, hopefully, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. It's common, those kinds of things. So when you are sharing with other people and seeking support, it's really, really helpful. I know um, we have a sew along group. It's about 8 or 9 of us that come every Wednesday. And I think it's a very supportive group because we may or may not accomplish the goal in the time frame that we kind of arbitrarily set. Some of us may be doing this, that, or the other, but the mere fact that we come together with like minds because we're all crafters and we share our experiences, we share our our information, we share uh, what some of our issues are going with our fabrics, with our designs, with our machine, whatever the situation may be. We share it, we talk about it, we laugh, we have a good time. That's a support system. It is. It's a support system, and it keeps you keeps you grounded and it just, for me, I hope everybody else feels that way. But for me, I look forward to it because I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the friendship that has developed. I enjoy the conversation and I enjoy the help when I'm struggling. And I haven't figured something out. And to be able to say, what do y'all think about that? Here, look at this. What can I do? And all of that. And then people ask questions and I feel good if I can add to it. So that's a support system. So try to get a support system. And we're always open for new people. If anybody's interested in joining our soul along, we are definitely open for that. Number 7, set boundaries. Make sure to balance your work and your personal life. A lot of people, especially when you're working from home, don't have boundaries. I remember as a pharmaceutical rep, and my office was in my home, and that turned out to be my home often because it was so much to do that I spent a lot of time in that room in my office doing whatever I had to do. And, it was a lot of reading and learning and testing and all of those kinds of things. So, I was kind of hemmed up in there, which sometimes is not good. You got to shut that door and come on up out of there. So same thing with your embroidery studio. Now mine is in the back of my apartment. And it's my go-to. It's my job. I get up in the morning, I drink my coffee, I have a conversation with my husband because he works the evening shift. So I try to spend a little time with him in the morning. And then the next thing you know, I'm heading back here and I'm pretty much back here until it's time for me to come up out of here and go to bed. There's so much you can do. Not to say that I'm busy, busy, busy with orders and all that kind of stuff. I am occasionally, but I'm busy doing something that is pertaining to embroidery or crafting or what have you. So that's my job, which I am very thankful for because it keeps me alert, it keeps me active, it gives me something to look forward to. So that's what makes me happy. It gives me something to look forward to. So that's my motivation. But when it says to seek boundaries and balance your work, you got to shut that door and get out of here and do something different. If I had a plan and it's nothing that I have to have done by a certain time frame, and like the other day, my birthday, I was honestly was not expecting to go anywhere. It hadn't been planned, as far as I know. But that's what happened. I was taken out for my birthday. I had plans in my head to come back up in here and get this doggone quilt that I've been working on. But I like, okay, no, this is more important. spending time with my husband, getting out of the house, enjoying myself, having a good time. And that's what I did with no guilt at all. So even if I had some work that had to be done out at a certain period of time, I still would have gone. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it was important for me to get away and spend some time. I would have figured out how to get the work that I needed to get done. Maybe I come home and stay up late. Get up early the next morning, get it done. So it's going to get done at the time that was arranged to have it ready. But I wasn't going to pass up an opportunity to do something in my personal life. So that's work-life balance there. Number 8, reevaluate your goals. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it might be time to reassess your goals and expectations. So yes, maybe you've taken on too much. Maybe your expectations are too high. Perfect example again for me. I just opened up my Etsy shop. It's been open in May. This is July. So it's going on May, June, July, 2 months. And had some sales. It's slow. I knew that going in. There are several things that I want to do, need to do, and I am going to do, but I'm realistic as well. I don't have, hopefully I don't have unexpected goals. I know that this is going to be something that's going to take time. It's not going to pop off automatically. The day you open the door, all of a sudden you're going to get sales flying. No, I knew that going in there. And I also know that there are things that I have to do to crank it up. But my goal is set, what I'm going to do. My expectation is set, what I'm going to do. And I'm prayerful. And that's what you do. You step out on faith and you do it. But you don't do it to the detriment of your health and your mental status. I try my best not to do that. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to do that. So, make sure that your expectations are realistic and they're not to the point where they're detrimental to your health and your well being, especially your mental health. Number 9, get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can exacerbate feelings of burnout because you're tired. Get some sleep. I think about um, Jeanette, and hopefully she doesn't mind me mentioning it, but I remember when she first switched over to the current job that she has, where she's working out of the home. Most of the time, when I first met her, she was working in her home, her government job. She was working in her home, but then she took a promotion, I believe it was, which required her to commute, and but she still kept doing everything that she was doing. She had to get up real early to commute. She was burning out. She may not have said it, but she was working. You got your job, you got your Etsy shop, you got your studio that you're working in your home. You're a wife, you're a mom, you're a dog mom. You got her dad was sick. He passed away, unfortunately. Now she is concerned about her mom. She got a sister. It's a lot. It's a lot. It can burn you out. So I think she has readjusted some things, and I think that she's doing a lot less, whereas it is not as much of a challenge because I'm pretty sure she realized that this is not a healthy thing. And I'm pretty sure she's getting more sleep. Because you got to get that sleep. Now, I personally don't sleep 8 hours a day. I don't. There are days though that I do, but I don't remember when I've actually gotten 8 hours of sleep. That's not because I'm overworked. That's because I just don't sleep. I have a lot of pain, unfortunately, and oftentimes my pain wakes me up. So once I wake up, I get up. That's pretty much how it goes. And I get pain early in the morning, and I just say, okay, enough of this. Get up, girl, because you in that bed ain't getting along. and that's how it goes. Occasionally, I will take a nap. Occasionally, don't do it every day, don't do it every week, but occasionally I find myself tired or sleepy enough where it's okay, enough of this, I need a nap. And I'll lay down and take an hour or 2 hours, sometimes three, and I didn't realize it was that long. Usually I someone lay down for 30 minutes, the next thing you know, it's been an hour and a half. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm getting I'm taking care of me. So that's what's important. You got to make sure you get enough sleep. And number 10, which I had mentioned already, spend some time in nature. Spending time outdoors can help reduce stress and improve your mood. So those are the things that they're recommending as far as strategy to recover from um, from burnout. Now, of course, I always try to ask questions in several different ways, and um, I did ask about managing it, and it pretty much was saying some of the same things that I just mentioned about identifying your stressor. It could be a tight deadline, your workload, or dealing with difficult clients can stress you out. Trust me, that can be a stressor. Now, I know that oftentimes for those of us that may do a little business or you may do a lot of business, you when you're dealing with the public, you never know what you're going to get. You have to be upfront, you have to be transparent, and you have to stick to your conviction, whatever that is. My advice to anybody that is working with the public and trying to sell to the public is to have some type of understanding what you can and will do, what your expectations are, and then also what their expectations are. And don't deviate from it. And let them know up front, especially when it comes down to pricing. When you decide what your price is and you price for your time and your service. When you decide what your price is for whatever it is you're doing, stick with it and make sure you get your money up front. That alone can alleviate a lot of stress because you don't want to work for free. If you're like me, you can't afford it. So you got to make sure that your customer, your client, is aware that this is what I'm going to do, and this is how much it's going to cost you, and this is my expectation. You are going to pay for it before I do anything. I ain't turning my machine on until I have all my money. Now, of course, you need to do some type of sampling or something like that so they can review it, approve it, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying don't do that because that's good business. They need to agree, but that should be part of your contract. Once they agree upon and approve or whatever what it is that the two of you have decided or agreed upon, and you show them the sample, and they say, yes, that's the right color, yes, that's the right size, yes, that's the right design, yes, whatever, whatever. Once they give you that stamp of approval, then you move forward once they put that money in your hand. Then you move forward and you do the job. And when you do the job, make sure that you're realistic on the time frame, whereas how long it's going to take you to get it done and get it to them. That's the next thing. I said identify the stressor, talked about difficult clients. Number two, develop effective coping strategies. And we talked about taking a break and being mindful, making sure all of your equipment is working and you got the tools that you need to do what you got to do. Then number three is to set realistic deadlines and goals. Avoid setting up unrealistic expectation for yourself because this can help you lower your stress and prevent burnout. These rush orders gotta stop. You're putting stress on yourself for what? It's not your fault they waited to the last minute to ask for whatever it is they need. It may not be their fault that they found out at the last minute that this is something they need. But for you to stress yourself out to get this rush order done is not healthy. Now, I'm not saying or advocating that you don't ever help a client out and agree to do a rush job, but make that realistic. If they want 100 shirts and they need it tomorrow, and you don't have multiple multi needle machines where you can get that done, it's not realistic. You got one machine. That ain't gonna happen. Even if you burn the midnight oil and stay up all night, you may be blessed to get it done, but look how worn out you're gonna be. And what kind of money you gonna make? Is it worth it? So that needs to be a negotiation. Said, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but I can't do 100. I might be able to do 50 or 25 or whatever, but I can't do 100 of them. And, I just can't take this job. You're going to have to take this job to a brick and mortar store where they have multiple machines and they can get this job done for you. I'm so sorry, but next time, give me more time and I'll be more happy to do it for you. You got to turn it down. You got to turn it down. What's more important? You falling out dead because you're trying to make a nickel. Mm-mm. And then you mess it up. So then you messed up your reputation. You got to replace it, do it over, whatever the situation is. So you didn't, you just didn't accomplish anything. So don't do that. I I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever taken a rush hour that was extreme. Now, I may have said a week and they may say, can you get it done in 4 days or 3 days or something like that? And then I may have to think about it, it's depending upon what it is. So I remember when I only had my single needle machine and it was during the pandemic and I had this big order from a doctor's office. And I brand new. I accepted the order, but I told them up front it's gonna take me 3 weeks because it's just me and one machine. And I worked full time. I made sure that I expressed that it's gonna take me a minute. I'm not gonna be able to do all of this, and I can't even remember how many masks it was. But my son is on here now, and hopefully he'll remember because I had to call in reinforcement. He and his friend came over, and we had set up an assembly line cutting, putting it together. I'm sewing, I'm stitching, and they're cutting, putting it together, and the whole nine had this table and an assembly line to get everything done so I could get it done within the time frame that I had promised that I would get it done because most of the work was done on the weekend. But I set that goal, but I feel like it was realistic. I never would have told them I could get it done in a week because I knew I had to work. Now I came home every day and worked on it, and I saw that I needed help, and I asked for help. So you just have to be realistic with with your deadlines and your goals. Maintain a work-life balance. We talked about that. Practice self-care. Seek support from others. Learn to say no. It's okay to turn down projects or clients if you're feeling overwhelmed. It's okay. No, ma'am, can't do it. Don't have time. I'm not experienced, whatever the situation is. I have turned down a couple of jobs. One was somebody wanted me to embroider on a pair of shoes. Um, and not that I hadn't done tennis, I've done tennis shoes, I've done boots, but these were expensive shoes. And I had never embroidered it the way that they were asking to have it done. And I simply told them, no, I'm sorry that I'm not qualified to do that. I don't have the equipment to do that. You need to uh, find somebody else to do that. I wasn't stressing myself out. No. There was no way that I was going to take on that job with those shoes and mess them up. And then here I am, got to pay for something I can't even use, can't resell. They're messed up. They're mad. Wasn't going there. Not stressed. No, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do it. Cannot do it. And I'm trying to think, have I turned down anything else? I may have. I'm not sure. Um, but I know that was a no on that one. Um, use the right tools. That can stress you out if you don't have what you need. If you're not, if you're trying to improvise because you don't have the right hoop, or you don't have enough needles, so you're using dull needles and everything keeps breaking. If you don't have the stabilizer that you need, so you're improvising and using what you got, all of those kinds of things, and you're getting puckering and all of that. No, it was no. Mm-mm. Even if you don't have enough thread. And when I say you don't have enough thread, this person picked out this color and you had some thread, but you didn't check and you don't have enough of that thread. So now you got to figure out, what do I have that's going to work? And is it going to match 100%? And if it doesn't, will your client notice and will your client be upset? That's unnecessary stress. So you take on a job, you got to think about that. Try your best to think about everything. Do I have the stabilizer I need? Do I have enough needles? Do I have enough of that particular color thread to finish the job? If you don't, then you need to get that thread the best way you can. Hopefully, you can run out to a Joann or whatever store that you have close by, quilting shop somewhere, and buy the thread. Or if it's possible, get it overnighted or whatever you think is going to work for you. But to try to figure out a way to piecemeal it and see if you can fool your client or whatever, that's never good. Plus the fact you're stressing over that because you're worried. You've gotten paid. You made a promise, and now you can't deliver on it because you didn't do your due diligence and made sure that you had all of the equipment and supply and materials that you needed to complete the job. So you may have needed to say, no, I can't do the job, or no, we need to pick a different color because I don't have enough of that, but I have enough of this, and it's pretty close. Something along that line. You need to do that. They even mentioned appropriate needles, scissors, and other tools, which made me think about rotary cutter blades. I, as you guys know, so long we've been working on this quilt, and when you're quilting, you're doing a whole lot of cutting. And I noticed that I was having a lot of problem with the cutting and stuff. And I'm not big on changing my rotary blades. That's terrible. But it's not something that I do every time I do a project, which I was reading somewhere and it says that it's supposed to do every time you do a new project, you need a new blade. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I did discover was when I changed my blade for the particular rotary cutter that I was using that I was comfortable with, then my cutting got a lot better. And so it was like, aha, this is what I should have done from the beginning. Made sure I had a spank brand new blade in here. And maybe some of my cutting would have been better and I wouldn't have been as stressed. So, sometimes you have to think about that. Hindsight. I thought I had everything I need because, I got 50 zillion million rotary cutters. And I don't know why, but it seemed like none of them was working right. But then when I did change this one particular one, it did the job. I was like, what do you say? Number 9, good lighting and proper workspace. Now that part is very important. If you can't see well, if you don't have the lighting that you need, now you see I got these great big old glasses on because I can't see. I can't see without my glasses. I am nearsighted. I am nearsighted. And looking at the screen, reading and stuff like that is cool. Something that's a little far away from me, child, please. Mm-mm. But what I also notice is that if I'm doing some intricate work like sewing on my sewing machine or hand stitching or using my seam ripper or anything like that where I need to be very intricate and look and see what I need, I gotta have some good light. I need good lighting. So I don't know how many lamps in here because I don't have no overhead light. And I got a lot of light in here. Trust and believe me. Now the light is down a little low in here, so it'll be a better view on the camera and everything. But when I'm in my room during the day, even at night, I got a lot of light. And believe it or not, I could use a little bit more because I like to light up the sky. You hear me? So I can see. The other thing is workspace. Now, I know for a fact that can be stressful and irritating when you don't have enough room, especially if you don't have enough room on your cutting table, especially when you have to multitask with the cutting table. Some people have to use the cutting table for their layout table, their cutting table, their ironing table. You know, everything is done on that same table because I don't have no room. That's stressful. When I was in a little bitty room at my daughter's house, that's how it was. Everything had to be done in this one little spot because I didn't have no more room. And the spot that I had was like what, maybe 36 by I'm gonna say 48. That was the length, the size of the space that I had to function in. I figured it out. I got it done. It worked, but it was stressful. Some things it was pretty stressful to get that stuff done because you don't have enough spot space. I'm in this room now, bigger, much I ain't gonna say much bigger, but bigger than the bigger than the one I was in. And it's stressful to me because I can't set it up the way I want to. And when you can't set it up the way you want to, when you can't organize it when you way you want to, when you can't put things where you know you can go back and find it because you whatever the situation may be, that's stressful. Takes up too much time to find it, takes up too much time to figure out how you're going to, like my cutting table. It's nice, it's big, but it's multifunctional. So when I was working on this quilt, I had to take things off of it so I could have access to the whole table. So where you putting this stuff? And then when you're done with using the table to spread out this quilt and all that stuff, then you got to put all this stuff back. So that's your stress right there. But anyway, it's better than nothing. Number 10, engage with your work on a deeper level. Find ways to make even the worst task just one part of the overall picture. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about my quilt. What can I say? Yeah, take one bite at a time. What did it say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There you go. Remember, it's okay to feel stressed from time to time. It's a natural part of being in the creative industry. What's important is how you deal with it. So, all of these things that we've talked about, hopefully, will help anybody that's listening and watching and what have you deal with the stress that they've been having. So I know it's been a few people that have come on that I haven't acknowledged. That let me acknowledge people. Don't want to think that I'm ignoring you. So Felicia's so casual. Thank you for stopping by, and Marissa, thank you for stopping by. Val, hi, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. And my son, next to you, LLC in Florida. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate everybody that stops by to join into the conversation. So I don't know, nobody's put a comment in here at all about whether or not they have dealt with stress or burnout. If they have, how are they handling it? Um, do you know anybody that is experiencing burnout, stress, any of that because I do know that this industry can be stressful. Even if you just do it as a hobby, finding, um, figuring out how to make whatever it is that you want to make turn out. Um, Learning a new technique and messing it up, wasting material. Nobody likes to waste material and nobody likes to mess stuff up. But that happens. And, it can get stressful sometimes if you let it. If you don't take it as a learning process and, just don't get overwhelmed with it, don't get frustrated with it, don't give up. That's something that I think is happening more often than not in this industry. And that comes from what I've seen and talked about on here before, where people are selling their machines. And it's like, why are people selling their machines? Some people are selling their machines that they just got. Some people get machines and don't touch them. I also saw somebody on Facebook that was saying that they just got a 10 needle machine. I believe it was a brother for a gift from their husband, and they were scared of what? There's plenty, please believe, there's plenty of information floating around to help you with embroidery, setting up your machine, threading your machine, what to look for, how to get started. All of that is out there. It's out there. That's what helped me. Just Google it. Well, not Google it, but just put your question in your search bar, and you're gonna get a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna pop up. And pick and choose what you want to check out. Pick who you want to follow. Who's gonna give you the information that you enjoy, that you're comfortable with. When you do that, then you'll be able to learn more, and hopefully you'll not have that fear. Now, Robin said she gets frustrated with a project. She leaves us when she gets frustrated with a project. She leaves the sewing room and come back the next day after she's relaxed and calmed down. And that's a good way of handling that. Just say forget about it. I do that too. I'm like, okay, enough of this. You can't figure it out. It's coming out wrong. You're getting frustrated. You're getting tired. Enough of this. I need a break. I need a break. Leave out of there. Close the door if you can, and do something else that you enjoy. And it will be there when you come back. Just don't go and stay for months. Come back the next day. You'll realize that it's not as bad as you thought it was. You may even uh, figure out a way to fix it. I was telling my girlfriend I was doing a project, and the project came out nice, but it didn't come out as nice as I wanted it to. And I was because I had never done it before, and I was kind of baffled and thinking like, okay, this is cute, but something ain't right. I need to do something different. Couldn't think about. I dreamed what to do. It just came to my mind, and I'm not gonna say I actually dreamed about it, but it came to my mind what I needed to do because it was something that was stressing me. And I got up the next day and I came into my studio. I still had on my sleeping clothes. I came into the studio and I did exactly what I had thought about in my sleep, and it worked. It turned out to be what needed to be done. So I had to step away. When you step away and relax and calm your mind down, a lot of times you'll realize whatever it was that was working your nerves, whatever it was that you couldn't figure out, oftentimes that answer will come to you, and you will figure it out. You'll be okay. And if you don't, that's okay too, because you may find the answer somewhere. Sometimes you need to just really go on to Facebook or YouTube, type in what your problem is, and see if something comes up. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, because I know a lot of times I can't find my answer. I'm like, this ain't what I'm asking. This is not what I'm looking for. You keep looking. Hopefully you'll find it. Hopefully you will. But like Jenny is saying, it's lots of videos out there. Lots of videos. When I got my 10 needle, it was already set up. Thankfully, the people that I bought it from had set it up and had put the cart together, everything. When they delivered it to my house, it was on the cart, and I lived on the third floor. And they called and said they were, they were here, they were coming up, and I'm looking for it to be in a box because I had gotten my son to come over because I wanted to do an unboxing video for my channel. And it was already unboxed on the cart and ready to go. I was cool with it because I knew what to do. As soon as they left and everything, I got in there and I threaded the thing up and got it together and turned it on, was running and shoot. I think I did a hat the very next day. Why? I had done my background study. There was a YouTube video that I watched several times that was an unboxing and a setup for this very machine. So watching, and it was a guy, watching him helped me to know what to do when I got mine. It was just that simple. Watching him told me what to do when I got mine, expectation, everything. I knew what to do. So when I got my machine, there was no stress because I knew exactly what to do, how to thread it and everything. Because I looked it up. I got prepared for that. So that's all you need to do. Don't be scared. Be prepared. That's what you do. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Do your due diligence. Do your background, you know, and then you won't be. Felicia so casual says, not finding the answers can be stressful too. That is true. It can be. And I was looking the other day and I did not find my answer. I could not find anybody that was doing what I was looking for. I would put it in there, I don't know how many different ways, and it would come back telling me something else. What I have found is that a lot of the videos show you how to do something on a flatbed, on a single needle machine, not so much on a multi needle machine, especially a 10 needle brother or baby lock machine. Now, you may be able to see something on one of the industrial machines, the 15, 16 needle machines, the Racomas and the Melcos and the Tajimas and the Bays and Abaya, whatever, however you pronounce it, the Happy. I've seen all of that. But you don't see a whole lot with the brother machine. You don't see a whole lot with the baby lock machine. And matter of fact, I think you see more with the baby lock than you do the brother. But most of the information is done with a flat uh, flatbed, single needle. So that's frustrating to me. And that's one of the reasons why I did my channel, because I wanted to show people how to do stuff on the multi needle machine because I think it's lacking. I got to get back to it. Because I said, since I couldn't find the answer I was looking for, then I need to figure it out so I can put it up there for whomever might be looking for it, uh, what I was looking for and couldn't find it. That was one of the reasons why I did the video on how you use your 10 needle machine when you have a project that calls for 15, 20 different colors. And how do you do that? That was frustrating to me because I'm like, I ain't got but 10 needles and I need 15. So how am I going to figure this out? I figured it out and I made a video. So that's kind of what I do. I figure it out, then I make a video. So I think I know what the answer is for what I was looking for the other day. Didn't find a video, but I kind of halfway figured it out. So I got to test it out first. Then if that's the correct answer, then I'll make a video on it because it's not out there. But what I'm saying is you just have to don't give up. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Don't get stressed out. The answer and the solutions are available. Oftentimes, you have to take what you find and kind of use it and flip it for your own use. Because I have followed people doing projects on a single needle machine and took it and incorporated it to my machine. The steps were slightly different. Of course, the buttons are different, all of those kinds of things, but you figure it out and you work it out. So I'm glad you're back, Van. I read where you're having a storm there and you got knocked out, so you're back. So I'm so glad you're back. And hi, Pearl, how you doing? Thank you for watching. You're watching from uh you've been watching from a restaurant, but you're home now. Okay, well that's a dedicated person. Thank you so much. Um And Kristen, you said, and thank you for stopping by. You said you had problems today and became frustrated. You made a post in Facebook group and just got a response tonight. By then, I had walked away because I was frustrated. Yeah, sometimes when you ask a question, you don't get the answer as soon as you need to. You said you returned label and was able to hopefully resolve the problem. So that's good. You walked away from it and you waited to see if somebody was going to respond and give you an answer, which is good. Sometimes you don't get the answers that you want right away because maybe the people that saw the question didn't know the answer, or maybe people didn't see the question until later on. That happens. You're not going to always get it, but I do believe that most questions and things that you have, you can find an answer in some of these groups or on YouTube or something like that. So join as many groups as you are comfortable with. The ones that you really like, the ones you think are very helpful or can be or will be, and follow them. And if you are getting some good advice, because I talked about that, I believe, last week, you got to be careful about some of the advice you get and the answers. And you don't always know if they're good or not, especially if you're asking the question. That means you don't know how to resolve it. So when someone gives you an answer, you're not 100% sure that's going to work or is correct, which can be a problem. You got to trust your gut. And I always say, turn to the experts. Watch people that you know have been in this industry a while, people that you know are productive, people that you know that seems like they know what they're talking about. And those are the people that are really doing well in their business or their hobbies or whatever. They're still there. Those are probably the ones you can trust because whatever they're doing is working. So, but they're busy. That's the other thing. They may not answer you back. Hopefully, somebody in their Facebook group will. I have reached out to a couple of persons asking questions and stuff and never got an answer. I don't know. It wasn't a Facebook group. It was their direct channel. I don't know if they saw my comment or my question or what the situation is. I don't know. Uh, they're a much bigger channel than me, so I'm pretty sure they get tons of questions and comments and what have you. So it may be very difficult for them to respond to everybody. Because for me, I try my best to respond to every question or comment that I get. I try my best. I may not do it the exact same day because I may not see it. But when I do see it, I do try my best to respond to every question, every comment, every statement, whatever that I get. Because, first of all, I appreciate the input. I appreciate you watching me. And I appreciate you having enough confidence in me to even ask me a question. And if I know the answer, I will answer that question. If I don't know the answer, then I would tell you, I don't know the answer. This is my suggestion. Or I would say, I'm so sorry, I can't answer that question. Can you clarify it? Or something where I can hopefully figure out what it is that you need and see if I can help you. If I can, I can. You know, you may ask me a question that I have absolutely no clue and no way of figuring it out. If I do, I will just let you know. Usually, that's not the case. Usually, I'm able to respond in some manner. So I do appreciate, and I said that at the very beginning, I do appreciate the questions and the comments. I encourage them. So anytime you see, even if you're watching a live or if you see me do a video and put it up on my channel, or even the old ones, because I still get a lot of questions and comments, and people watch some of my old videos, which is very helpful. They call them green videos when people still watch them, even though they're several years old and they're still helpful. They're called green. So I do have several green videos out there um, that's helping people, especially new people, new beginning people in the embroidery industry, that's helping them. So please continue to ask the questions because I do appreciate them and I will do my best to try to answer them. Um, this is some of the same. Now, I did do some searches other and outside of the AI to see what some of the other people are saying. And pretty much the same thing that we talked about. Let me see if there's anything different. Um, one of the stressors that I talked about that I think is very important, well, actually, it's two of them, but one of them is client demands and dealing with difficult clients or ones that have unrealistic expectations. I did a video, a live presentation or video um, last year, I believe it was last year. It may have been the year before last. Time flies. But in my early beginning, when I first started doing my live stream, however long that's been, I remember having this potential customer that was driving me. I don't lie. She was driving me. I had never had a client like that before, ever. She was extremely difficult and she had unrealistic expectations. And I was trying my best to deal with her because she had been referred to me by another customer that I had that had gotten a big order from me or had given me a big order. And I wanted to gain this person's business and confidence as well. Unfortunately, it seems like this difficulty with this client kind of ruined my relationship with the other person because they were friends and this person was referred. But sometimes people just looking for a way to save money and they want to get more than what they're willing to pay for and won't or don't understand why that's not possible. And it really was upsetting to me. It was really upsetting to me because we kind of went back and forth, and I was trying to appease her. I had her thing digitized, or I had it digitized. Then I had it redone 3 times. So that's 4 times it went back to the digitizer for corrections, and the person still was not satisfied. One of the reasons why is that it was virtually impossible to get the design because of its size to look the way she wanted it to look because it was just too much. It literally was too much for what she wanted. And it just, the digitizer, obviously, and it was a company, wasn't skilled enough to make it the way she wanted it. And I will admit that there were some flaws, but she wouldn't bend as far as trying a different design that would work. And she wouldn't bend on the products that she wanted to put it on. And she didn't want to pay for nothing. She wanted all of this. And she wanted it for basically nothing. And I was like, it don't work that way. And she didn't want to pay up front. So it, needless to say, we did part ways, and it just did not work out. But she was just unrealistic. That was the only time I've ever had worked with anybody like that, which was very surprising to me because this person had a business themselves. And it was like, how can you have a business? You set up what your policies are, your rules, your whatever it is, and your fees with the expectation that that is going to be accepted because this is your, if you want my service, this is what, here it is. But then on the flip coin, you want me to break my policies and everything and bend to your will and your fees that you want to pay because you don't understand why some things cost the way what they cost. Mm-mm. Those are the people you walk away from. Now, I was wrong for even entertaining her because we went back and forth for several days, then parted ways for several weeks. Then she returned, and then this whole ball game started all over again. I should never have answered answered the phone the second time. When I saw that number, I should have just let it ring because it didn't accomplish anything. Of course, she did not ever become my customer because she wasn't in agreement. And I just stood steadfast and told her, this is it. This is what my fee is. This is what I can do, and take it or leave it. Pretty much. I'm not deviating because what you want is unrealistic. So that was extremely stressful. Seriously, that was extremely stressful. So dealing with difficult clients and demands and all that kind of stuff can wear you out. Can definitely wear you out. Um, what else did they say that was a little bit different that I wanted to touch on? We talked a little bit about support. In this article, it says that there's no need to face stress and burnout alone, especially when you're in the creative industry. Seeking some support from others is a powerful way to manage these challenges. Remember, it's not a sign of weakness, but a smart strategy for success. Working in a creative field often means dealing with a lot of pressure and criticism. It's easy to feel isolated and overwhelmed, but remember you're not alone. There are others who understand what you're going through and are ready to lend a hand or a listening ear. So they suggest that you share with your peers, just like I just shared with you about this lady. Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. Get their opinion. Get advice. Don't go it alone. Connecting with people who are in the same industry can be incredibly helpful. They can provide insights, share their own experiences, and offer practical advice on managing stress and burnout. And that's what some of these Facebook groups do, like where this lady reached out. And then you can reach out yourself. Reach out to a mentor or get a mentor because they can be a guide for you and they can provide wisdom, guidance, and encouragement. And hopefully, everyone that's in the business can find somebody that they feel is a mentor that can guide them and help them, that they can ask questions of without embarrassment or without fear of judgment, because that's how you learn. And then it says seek professional help. There's no shame in seeking help from professionals such as therapists or counselors. They can provide strategies and tools to help you cope. And that's something that is extremely important, that you know when you can't figure it out by yourself. Once you figure it, once you accept the fact that you can't figure it out by yourself, that you do need some help, that you have burned, your candle has burned on both ends. Don't sell your machine. Don't sell all of your equipment. Don't close the door and don't walk back up in there for months. Don't do that. Get some help. Talk to somebody. Find a counselor. Find a friend. Find somebody that is going to help you. Usually, you probably can get help from a fellow crafter, and hopefully, you've established some type of relationship with somebody that does the same thing that you do, and they understand, because that's what helps you when you find someone that's like-minded. And like I said, that goes back to our Soul Along group, because I feel like that's what we do. I feel like we can share with each other and talk about our frustrations, figure out how to fix something, or whatever that may happen to be, and then we can, learn from that, get rid of some of this frustration, and prevent the burnout. So I see I got Danielle on here. Hi, Danielle Souls More, and she said her children are spending money on Prime Day shopping. And anybody else out there shopping. I looked, Danielle. I didn't really find anything that I really wanted to buy. But yes, I knew that. I think it's today and tomorrow. Is it the 16th, 17th, and 18th? I know it's tomorrow, today and tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Prime Day on Amazon for anybody that's an Amazon Prime person. Pearl, I promised myself that I was not going to use my Prime card, so she's trying to be smart. Daniels, I did buy myself a new self-healing cutting mat. Okay. And she's thinking about a Fisker tabletop seam ripper. What's this tabletop seam ripper? Hmm. What is that, Daniel? I looked on Amazon. I have to be honest about it. I didn't buy anything, but I was looking because, of course, they send you all of these messages letting you know that it's Prime Day and so forth and so on. Come give me your money. But again, I didn't see anything that I really needed that I saw as a huge bargain. But there was some savings. But I didn't see anything. I need to look again though, because I just thought about it. I mentioned before, I probably could maybe find some rotary cutter blades. If they have some rotary cutter blades that are on sale, that may very be helpful for me. So Daniel said it's a seam ripper that attaches to the table. A seam ripper that attaches to the table? Okay, I'm confused. A seam ripper that attaches to the table. Mhm. Seam ripper that attaches to the table. Oh, Felicia, you have a birthday. Happy birthday. You said Prime Day is the 16th and 17th. Today is your birthday, so you are also looking for a great gift for yourself. There you go. Happy birthday. I think Jeanette's birthday is today, and my birthday was Thursday. And I think somebody else on here that had a birthday. Was it you, Robin? I think it was Robin. So, table seam river. Fisker tabletop sing ripper? Is that what you got? Fisker tabletop sing ripper. Is that what you got? Yes. I've never seen that before. I don't know how it works. Hmm. That is interesting. I just look at Fisker's tabletop seam ripper. Yeah, that's what I did. Yep, that's it. Okay. So Daniel said that's what it is. Okay. I found it. Never saw this before. Never used it before. Don't know how to use. This is new to me. I don't know how to use that. Free both hands. Powerful suction cup attaches to your work surface, allowing you to rip seams while keeping both hands on the fabric. Well, that's pretty cool. The lever easily locks and unlocks the suction, making it easy to secure exactly where you need it. Designed for less damage, using two hands allows you to hold fabric taut for more control and fewer holes. There's a protective cap that snaps into its own compartment when it's not in use. Learn something new every day. So Felicia, you say you've never seen it before, and Jenny, it does seem, and it's cheap. It ain't well, say cheap, Danielle, but it's inexpensive. It is on Amazon on sale for $8.19. That's pretty cool. And you know what? I can see where it would be extremely useful. And I tell you why. I was doing some seam ripping the other day, and I am prone to cramps all over my body. It's ridiculous how I get these cramps. And my hand started cramping up so bad. I literally had to go run warm water on it and massage it. My hand, because I have arthritis in both my hands. and it's worse than the right for some crazy reason because I use the left the most, but the right one acts pull the most. So it was cramping me so bad from trying to hold and do the ripping and stuff. So that, yeah, I might need to put that in my cart, Danielle. Thank you. I never saw it before, never heard of it before. Now y'all are gonna buy them all out, and I'm gonna miss out. Didn't you buy one? How you gonna miss out if you put it in your cart already? If you've already purchased it, yeah, yeah. I'm getting ready to put this in my cart, honey. That has to come home with me because I think I could use that. I think I can use it. I don't know, but I think it's worth a try to to see if you can use it. Um, and it's inexpensive too, so that's a good thing. That is inexpensive. 8 bucks. That's not bad. That is not a bad idea. So I'm getting it. River City Creative. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Felicia, you said is already in your cart. Mine too. Who else? Who else got something good? Who else did doing the prime and got something good? Cause hey, we can be shopping up here. We can be shopping. Cause that was a new one. I never heard of that before. I never heard of it before, and I am glad that you um, brought that up. I'm looking at rotary cutter blades. Oh my goodness. This old foot rotary cutter blades are expensive. How many do you? Oh, it's a 10 pack. Okay, 10 pack is not so bad for that price. I don't know if I need a 10 pack though. Hmm. Anybody use titanium rotary blade cutters? And Becky, you said you want a pick and shear rotary cutter. I have one. Just by the blade. If you got an old rotary cutter that you don't use a lot, buy the blade and put it in that rotary cutter that you're not using anymore. I have the pink and shear rotary cutter blade. Um, I haven't really used it, but I do have one. I need to pull it out and use it and see how that works for me. But I do have one. Yeah, you started something, Danielle. Danielle, you need to be ashamed of yourself coming up in here making us spend money. In coming in here making us spend money. I'm telling you, that is so unfair. Um, Let me see. And Pearl, you said you have titanium blades. I've been thinking about getting titanium blades. I haven't done that yet. Do you like yours? And do they do they last? I guess is the question because they're titanium. They should last quite a bit. And I've been seriously thinking about getting some titanium ones for to use just to see if they're going to last because uh, I was doing this project, this quilt, and I found out that I needed to get some new blades, and I think I'm down to my last good blade. And I got I got several 45 millimeters. I finally got a 60 millimeter, and then I had the 28 millimeter, and so that's three different sizes. And these blades are not cheap. They are not cheap. And I use my 28. Love that thing. And I use my 45 the most. But I think I've dulled out my 60 as well. I don't know. But I didn't see any sales sign on the rotary cutter, like percentage off or anything. I didn't see anything like that. I did see some titanium. What are the titaniums? How much does the titanium cost? Now, Becky, I found this 45 millimeter rotary cutter with 7-piece replacement blades, and one of them is a pinky shear, and then one of them is some other kind of design. And I think that's what I have, because I have one that's pinking and one is something else. It's a Headley tool. It costs 19 some odd dollars. Where is $19? And it is ergonomic handle, cutter with safety lock for leather, fabric, paper, crafting, sewing, quilting, and perfect for left and right handed. Yeah, that sounds like a winner to me. It's 1998. That's how much it is. And I guess that's their prime price because they keep saying prime 2 days. So that's um, that's interesting. That is interesting. But if that's something that you're looking for, is 1998. Pearl said they cut very well, but I don't use that particular cutter that much, so I really can't say because I switched up on my cutter. Can you not switch up your blades? Just switch up your blade. I mean change the blades. Put your titanium in whatever you're using. Because I haven't bought any titanium blades, but I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. So, because I use my rotary cutter more than I realized that I use my rotary cutter. And it dawned on me, or it became apparent, I guess, to me when I started this quilting project and realized that my cutting was not as precise and pristine as I wanted it to be. And I think part of it was that it was dull because I was cutting through a whole lot of fabric at one time, and it kind of dulled it out. And I just saw on there where they have rotary cutter blade sharpeners. Has anybody used a rotary blade sharpener before? Because I'm curious about that too. I haven't, I got some things in my cart, but I haven't bought anything yet. But I think I'm pretty sure going to get that tabletop singer. Danielle, you started something, but if that's going to help me with my arthritic hand, yeah, that's a good thing. So don't y'all buy them out until I get a chance to go pay for it. I'm not done shopping. I was looking at some other things, so I don't want to make that final click until I see if there's anything else that I'm going to get before I say yes. Okay, this is what I want. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it with that. Um, before I forget about it, I want to make sure that I let everybody know that we are scheduled to do our sew along quilting project reveal next Tuesday, the 23rd. So this will be our last meeting tomorrow. Well, not, yeah, tomorrow will be our last meeting prior to our reveal. So I think the majority of us are done with our quilts, and we will be able to make that presentation and show you what we put together. And then we'll be moving on to our next project, which we've not decided what that project is going to be yet. And again, like I said, we're always opening the door for anybody that's interested to come and join the group every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested, you need to let me know in your comment. You can comment in my, just reach out to me in any format where you can make a comment where I can get it and I'll find it. And then I'll reach out to you and let you know whether or not, well, not let you know, just tell you what the particulars are. But again, I don't even know what we're going to be doing next time. Pearl, you said your blades are Guggenheim titanium, and they are supposed to be very good. And you have their scissors too. Yeah, that sounds like really good blades. So hopefully they will last for you. And George, you said you have been trying to sign on and say hello to everyone. Your phone would not allow me. Oh, uh, you like the discussion? Well, thank you. This storming in Philly, girl. I don't know what to say about this weather. I don't know if it's storming here or not. I really don't. I am in my room with my door closed, so I can't hear, I can't see. I don't know if it's storming or not, but so far my connection is still up, so I guess I am okay. But I do appreciate you guys coming on here. We're in the rain, in the restaurant, the lights go out, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, I am so glad that you all are interested in um, coming in, supporting me, listening to what I have to say, and putting your 2 cents in there. Felicia, you said you have bought the Guggenheim rotary cutter but have not used them yet, hoping they are really good. Okay. Is there anywhere you all are getting this in particularly, or are you getting them online? I have not bought a Guggenheim rotary cutter. I do have, if I'm not mistaken, a pair of scissors because I got tons of scissors. I'm not as bad as Jeanette. If you guys saw her Friday night when she was going through all her scissors, if that girl didn't have 1,000 scissors, I have a lot of scissors, but I don't have that many. I think I may have 20, maybe 20, maybe a few more, but at least 20. I'm pretty sure. I have, if I count every pair of scissors I have a pair of scissors that's that tiny to a pair of scissors that is huge. Like, uh, I think this is the biggest pair of scissors that I have. And this is for cutting batting. So I think this is, like I said, the biggest pair that I have. And then I have another pair that's close to it, but that's a shear that you just cut fabric with. But this one you cut is supposed to be for batting. And I got this scissors when I think I got these scissors when I was doing a Christmas tree because we were cutting a lot of batting and stuff. And and it came in handy with my quilting as well. But I got tons of scissors too. Like I said, and rotary cutters. I don't know if she was just counting. I think she was just counting her scissors. I am basically counting scissors and rotary cutters, I think. Because I really, I have a box that I keep mine in. The ones that I use every day is on my cutting table in a basket. The ones that I own that I don't use every day is in another basket in a box. And I have rotary cutters and scissors and all of that kind of stuff in there. I even have the little curved Fisker scissors that she mentioned that you used to get out of Walmart for $7. Now they like I went in there, I think they like 20 something. Come on now. What happened? They same scissors. Come on. That's ridiculous. But I got those scissors and I haven't opened them. And I should have a pair that I opened because when I bought them, I think I bought two of them at a time. So I should have two of them. And then I had another. I got this little bitty thing that cost me $16, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous because I didn't realize it was that tiny. Uh, Supposed to be where you can snip jump stitches. And then I have another one that had another one that may not have been longer than my finger, if that long. I love those scissors. And I paid good money for those scissors. I think these little things cost me over $30. And I cannot find them to save my neck. I'm hoping and praying they're not lost. I'm just hoping that they're in a box with something else. I can't find my Cricut mini press. I cannot find my Cricut mini press, which bothers me because I thought I had all my Cricut stuff together. And I cannot find my Cricut mini press for nothing. So I'm hoping my scissors and my mini press are in a box together somewhere in storage because I don't know where else they could possibly be. Um, Felicia, you say you get email notifications and buy when they sell bundle specials. Good. And Pearl, you said so far you're pleased with your products and you really like theirs. Okay, Jenny, my husband bought me Stella Rosa blueberry wine and it is good. Thank you for the tip. Yay! I'm glad you liked it. I love it. I really do. I like that taste. I like blueberries and I like blackberry. And we bought, my husband and I, over the holidays, bought a bunch of wine. And I just kind of went crazy and just went fruit. And I ended up with blueberry and blackberry, and I had apple, peach, um, strawberry, I believe, cranberry. I didn't care for. It was okay. Just lot of the fruity. Moscata, I love. Um, but anyway, when we got that blueberry, it was like, okay. And the blackberry, I said, I like these two. So then now I've been kind of leaning more towards just the blueberry and the blackberry the most. So that's probably, and again, I keep forgetting to go get some. I'm just going to be perfectly honest about it. I told my husband that today. I said, I don't know why. I just got out of the habit when we bought the big supply and it lasted us so long that I didn't make the trek back and forth to the liquor store to go get the wine. You know, I said that because I'm used to not having to go to a liquor store. That ain't my forte. I used to get my wine out of the grocery store, out of Walmart, out of Sam's, Costco, where I used to live. I was not used to having to go into a liquor store just to get wine. Come on, y'all. I didn't like that. But anyway, that's what I did. I remember one in Maryland, they have changed where you have to pay for. They don't use plastic bags anymore. At least not the cheap plastic bags, and you have to pay for your bags. So when it first happened, and I believe that was back in November, I went into the liquor store to get my wine. And the gentleman asked me if I wanted a bag. And I said, of course I want a bag. Well, I'm sorry, we had to pay for it. I said, okay, whatever. And there was a lady in there. And she said, don't you buy that bag and this, that, and the other. And the law doesn't say you got to buy the bag. On and on and on. So I listened to her and I said, I don't want the bag. And I said, I guess I'm going to be walking out of here with a bottle of wine in my hand coming out the liquor store. I was like, here I go. What can I say? Walking down the street with a bottle of wine in my hand. But she was right because when I went back a couple of weeks later, I didn't have to buy the bag. I got it free. I guess that they adjusted that situation. But I thought that was so funny. I said, who would have thought that I would ever be walking down the street with a bottle of wine, like a wine? I thought that was funny. That was funny. Oh, so your husband just handed you a glass. So cheers. What? I ain't got no wine. I got this big old jug of water. Cheers. I'm just gonna have to write it down and remind myself to go pick up some wine because I haven't ordered this big batch of wine since the holidays because it's not cheap and they have this limit on how much you have to order before they'll deliver it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, um, I'll order a big batch of wine eventually, but I'm just gonna go get a couple of bottles now and like I used to and be done with it. So I have my wine because this is Shirley's Wine Down Tuesday, and I'm supposed to have wine. I've been missing my wine. Trust and believe me, I've been missing my blueberry and blackberry wine. So I am so glad, Jenny, that you liked it, and I hope other people will try it. No, I am not a Stella Rosa rep. I'm not affiliated with them. I just happen to like their wine, and yeah. The world has gone crazy in more ways than one. Trust and believe me. Yes, it has. And it's scary. It is scary. But it is what it is, and we just have to deal with whatever is handed to us. Um, you go into the grocery store. Oh my goodness! Where did I go? I went to BJ's the other day. And I was looking at certain things up in there and remembering what I paid for a month ago, maybe. I was like, what? What did it go up to this? How much higher is grocery stuff gonna go? It's up and down. It's fluctuate. It's up and down. And then don't even wake up gas, but it is what it is. We just have to figure out how to deal with it. But yes, indeed, your comment about the world gone crazy is very much real and scary. And the only comment that I'm going to add to that is we all have to be aware, informed, and proactive with your civic duties. And that's all I'm going to say on that part. Just be aware of what's going on. I know some people don't listen to the news, don't get involved in all of the day to day stuff that's going on in the news. But I tell you, a lack of knowledge can be dangerous. So I just hope that everybody does be informed and be aware. And I had a mask that used to wear all the time. I still have it. It's worn out, but I had on there "Stay woke," and that's all I can say is "Stay woke." Don't. Mm-mm. You got to stay aware and stay woke and keep up with current affairs, current events, and all of that stuff. I remember as a kid in middle school, had to be still in middle school, and it was the Democratic convention was being televised, and this was back in the the mid '60s, I would say. I'm that old, okay. And our teacher said that we had to go watch the Democratic convention and come back and report on it. And I was like, you talking about something boring, man? I don't want to watch this. And I was a good student and I was very intuitive and stuff in school, but that was going to be some boring stuff to me. But I was a kid. But then now, as an adult, I think about that, and I don't know if our kids have to do anything like that. Most likely they don't, but I didn't know how important it was to know current event and what's going on back then as a kid as I do now. You don't want to not be informed. That's all I got to say. You have to be informed and you have to participate and exercise your rights. There you go. I said it. Ain't saying no more about it because I don't get into that kind of stuff. But yeah, just stay woke. That's all I got to say on that front. Okay, let me see. I need thumbs up, as always. Please, thumbs up. That does help me help the channel. Gotta do that. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I know if you don't ask, you don't get. So I'm asking to hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Comments, 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 questions, whatever. Please. That helps my channel to grow. And don't forget, I do have an Etsy shop, and I will be adding more things to my shop. I will be done, y'all, with my quilt tomorrow. I will be done, y'all. I'll be done. And I'll be able to get back to the real world now and do some of the things that I needed to do. Because I will be perfectly honest about this has been a big distraction to me because I'm not a quilter. And even though this is not a huge quilt, it took up way more time than I expected it to do. And it was some stress. I'm not 100% happy with the outcome. And I'm not going to go into that when we do the reveal. We'll talk, but I'm glad I did it. That much I am glad I did it because I learned a lot, and that's important. I do like learning, and I do like to challenge. And I'm not a quilter. Won't be a quilter. Will I do it again? Yes, I will. Because to be perfectly honest about it, I'm planning on doing the one that I just finished over again because I'm a perfectionist and I want it to be perfect. So I will do it again, but I will do it at my own pace where I know that I won't be making the same mistakes. And um, you guys that will be on tomorrow we'll talk about it and what have you. And I know, thank you, Jenny. I know they're called happy mistakes, and they're learning mistakes. They are. They're if you don't make a mistake, you don't learn. Be perfectly honest about it. How do you know? I don't know anybody that does something the first time and does it perfectly. If they do, hooray for them. But especially when it comes down to crafting and stuff, because oftentimes you got to figure it out and learn it. I remember listening to Jeanette talking about the reason why she didn't get into sublimation because she was messing up the cups and they were expensive and she didn't want to be just throwing, messing up cups and throwing them away. Well, that's all part of learning. You're not going to get stuff perfect the first time. The first cup I did wasn't perfect. The first tumbler I did wasn't perfect. The first shirt I did that I sublimated wasn't perfect. And I did it over again until I learned how to do it. Same thing with embroidery. Oh my goodness. I Eve said do tiles, and I'm so glad she said do tiles because I jacked up some tiles. I didn't know how to do anything. Brand new. I had no clue what I was doing. I hooped that thing and everything was in the middle of the tile. I didn't know how to move a design, add a design, enlarge a design. I didn't have a clue how to do any of that stuff. But I learned messing up stuff. I learned. I figured it out. That's how you do. So yes, um, thank you for the congratulations on. Oh my, y'all getting a thunderstorm. That's well. Hopefully it won't be last. And Robin, you say you never do anything perfectly. Well, I tell you what, your stuff looks so good. They look perfect to me. Robin's stuff looks absolutely perfect to me. They are really, really nice. I've always told her how impressed I am with the fact that she does her stuff on her SE 1900 like what I had, because I would never um, venture out to do a whole big quilt on that machine. Even though I put it together, I put the top cover with the SE 1900, but to actually quilt it, sandwich it, and quilt it on your mm-mm. It was a headache doing it on this machine back here. Yeah, but I'll talk about that next week. We'll talk all about that next week. I'll tell you my horror story. Lesson learned. That's all I can say. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. But I am glad. And Felicia, you said congratulations on seeing it through and not quitting. Thank you. I'm not a quitter, even though there were several times when I wanted to quit. I was like, I throw this stuff in the trash. But I said, nope, that's not what we do here. We decide we're gonna do something, whatever that project is, we commit to it. I commit to it, and I do the best I can to complete it, because that's how you learn. And I am very glad that I did the quilt. I'm gonna be honest about it. I learned a lot. I was surprised. I had no clue about quilting, don't know nothing. Still don't know a lot about quilting, but I know more than what I did. I know a few terms. I know why they do certain things. So I know a little bit more now than I did before this project. And I'm glad of that. So it has increased my knowledge. And I love to grow. I love to learn and all of that. So with that being said, this was a great project and mission accomplished, because again, I didn't have a clue about quilting, period. You couldn't, it was nothing about, all I knew is you put pieces together. I knew that you sandwiched it and all that kind of stuff like that. So that stuff wasn't, but you put pieces together and then you sew it up and you put it up there and it's pretty. That's all I knew about quilting. How you get from point A to point B, I had no clue. Absolutely no clue. Even with the long arm, I just learned what a long arm was and the purpose of a long arm last year. I had no clue. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about no quilting. I didn't know. Never really had a desire to know. But now that and it still amazes me. Quilting is a very popular hobby. I think quilting is even more popular than embroidery, which surprises me because quilting is expensive, one, and quilting is extremely time consuming. So it surprises me that it is as popular as it is. That part, yeah, that part, it don't compute to me. It doesn't. They're beautiful. And when people are good at it and they make these beautiful designs and piece them together and put them together, and voila, you got this big, nice, beautiful quilt, and you compete and do all that stuff. I get it. I get it. But as a routine hobby, just to be a quote unquote quilter, I don't get that. I really don't. Just like people probably don't get embroidery, rhinestone, sublimation, um, whatever else people do where they spend a lot of money. Scrapbooking, all that. Yeah, I used to scrapbook and I loved it, miss it because I really enjoyed scrapbooking. It was fun, relaxing, but it's expensive too, but not as expensive as embroidery and not as expensive as quilting. Because I think quilting maybe more expensive than embroidery. I don't know because embroidery machines are expensive. So maybe not because the machines are very expensive. But when you look at the price of fabrics and everything that you use, and I know they say we use scrap, you got to buy the fabric and use it in order for it to turn into scrap. So the fabric at a quilt shop is good, and I like it way better than what you get out of Joann and Hobby Lobby, and I'm hooked. That's the scary part because that's the only kind of fabric I want to use now because it's good fabric. It look good. It feel good. It performs better, but it's expensive. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Back quarters and charms and layer cakes and all of that, which I had no clue what none of that stuff meant at first. Didn't know nothing about it. But yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive. So those of you that quilt on the routine, I commend you. I congratulate you. I love the end product of your work. And I don't think I will ever be a quote unquote quilter. However, I am going to make another quilt. And Pearl, you said I probably have every quilt book, tools, and fabric. I am still trying to learn, but it isn't because it's because uh, you haven't stuck with it. It's because I haven't stuck with it. Well, I haven't. I stuck with this one. If I didn't feel obligated, I probably wouldn't. But I felt obligated as part of the group because it's a commitment. So I made the commitment to do it as a group. And that's why I did it. So I felt obligated. If it wasn't for that, I may not have done it. I'm going to be honest about it. So I can't say anything except for find a reason to complete a project if it's nothing but self gratification. I don't have any quilting books. I didn't even know how to read a pattern until I did this quilt. I had no clue what all this stuff was. I didn't understand none of it. It made no sense to me. And I still don't feel comfortable getting a pattern or a book and just venture out and do it on my own. I don't feel comfortable with that. But if you're going to invest the money in books and tools and fabric and all of that, then I highly recommend that you stick with it and make a project. Once you do one and complete it, I think that would help you move on to the next one, even if you mess it up. Like my quilt, I don't consider to be messed up. I think it looks pretty decent, in all honesty. It's not perfect. And even when I redo it or do another one, I know it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better because why? I learned where the mistakes that I made. So I can do better because I won't make those same mistakes, hopefully. But that's how you learn. So will I step away from this beginner quilting program that I took via YouTube free? Only thing I paid for was my material and stuff. The YouTube channel obviously is free, and I followed it. The Ultimate Beginners Quilting Series, I believe is the name of it. Ultimate beginner quilting series. And I bought the ultimate beginner quilting kit. And I followed along. And the person was a good teacher. So that's what got me to where I am. So, Pearl, you're saying it's really time consuming and was told you had to be a math expert, and my math is far away from that. And Robin, you said, Pearl, you don't have to be a math expert. I agree with that. You do need to understand measurement. You do need to know how to read a ruler. Now, if you understand measurement, like you know what a quarter inch is, an inch, a half inch, an inch and a half, and you can read you can read a ruler. That's helpful. Now, this particular course, the teacher did the math for the students, so we didn't have to do no math. Thank you. Didn't have to do no math, but we did have to know how to read the ruler when it says six and a half, or two and a half, or a quarter, or three quarters, or whatever it says. You needed to be able to read that ruler and cut it like that. So all of the stitches were a quarter of an inch. So that part was easy. Only a few times that you have to do a half of an inch. But all of the stitches were a quarter of an inch. You get a quarter inch stitching uh, presser foot, then you're pretty good. At least I was. It worked perfectly for me and I was happy. As far as venturing off on my own to do one where I had a pattern and I actually had to do the math, I'm not 100% sure how well I would be able to do it, but you got calculators. You just have to understand the process of how to use it. I'm assuming, Robin, because you said the math isn't that bad, or you don't have to be an expert. And with the books and stuff that you have, Pearl, I think you can do it. And just find one that specifically focuses on helping you to learn the math. It should be one out there. And Robin said if you're going to make your own pattern, your math is very useful, but you can find downloads on how to figure things out. That's what I was just telling her. There should be something out there that should help you figure out the math. A book, a video, something. So do that. Do that. And go ahead and make some. Or take this course. It's free. The only thing that you have to pay for is your fabric, your kit, the fabric. And if you got your own fabric, then you can use your own fabric. You just have to make sure you have enough of what it is that you need. And there's you can download the kit itself. You can download the instructions yourself. It's free. Off of the Fat Quarter Shop. That's where I took this class, the Fat Quarter Shop, and it's called the Ultimate Beginners Quilt Series. And then I bought the Ultimate Beginners Quilt Kit. Now they're out of stock right now, but you can put your email in and they'll email you and let you know when it comes back in stock. And the kit itself is $50 some odd. And it gives you all of the material you need to complete the quilt. I think you get 12 different colors of fat quarters. You get all the material you need for the backing. You get all the material you need for your sashing. You get all the material you need for your binding. and you get all of the material you need for your borders. So you get everything you need to put this together except for the batting. The batting is in your thread. Your thread and your batting is the only thing that you have to purchase outside of the kit, because all of the instructions are free. You can download them. And the series instruction on YouTube is free. So that's my recommendation. If you're serious and you really want to put to use your stuff that you've already invested money in, you don't have to buy the kit as long as you get the information from them as to how much fabric you need for each part. If you got enough back quarters or what have you for 12 different colors, you got enough fabric to do, for um, the backing, and so on and so forth. You don't have to buy anything. Just download the stuff and do it. So you'll get the whole thing free if you have enough material already to do that. Go check your stash out. And she talks about, the kit is using plain fabric. It's no print. It's no print. But she does mention if you use a fabric with print, certain things have to be right side up, that kind of thing. So you have to make sure that you turn your fabric the right way when you're doing certain things. But she brings that out. She talks about it. So you certainly can use your own fabric and don't have to spend any more money. So you might be able to do the whole course and don't spend a dime. But I would recommend that you do that. But anyway, I'm looking at the clock and we're over. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and say good night. And hopefully the next time we come on Pearl, you'll let me know that you're getting started on your quilt and you're using your stuff. So that will make me happy. And you can do a reveal on yours. I'll let you do a reveal. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow night, those that are on the so long. And Leslie, I think you popped in late and I forgot to say something, but I did see you. I don't want you telling me you ignored me. I didn't ignore you. I saw you. I was running my big mouth and I didn't get a chance to say hi, Leslie, for stopping by. So thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And I will see all of you the next time if it's the Lord's will. So good night to everybody. You guys take care. Be safe, those of you that are experiencing the storm. And I hope all is well until I see you next week. Take care and good night.